Welcome to the Time Management Podcast with me, your host, Abigail Barnes. I'm a productivity coach, global speaker, time management author, and award-winning entrepreneur on a mission to share the 888 formula with the world and to remind you that it's your time. Leave it to me to bring you new time management tips, tricks, tools, and strategies, to introduce you to guests, research, and case studies from around the world, and to give you a simple 5-step process you can follow to uplevel your productivity, achieve your goals, and create a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. I'm so excited that you're here, so let's get started. Welcome to the podcast. It's you and me today. Whether this is our first time hanging out or you have been following the podcast for the last few episodes, I'm so excited that we get to talk today all about the addiction to next. And what I mean by this is the story that we're telling ourselves about I will be successful when I get this, when I get that, when I've done this, when I've done that. And that's not to say that some of the things that are on our list, on our goals that we want to achieve aren't going to get us that, but it's understanding that some of them might be stories that we're telling, some of them might be limitations, and some of them might be stopping me, you, us from moving forward, from achieving what it is that we want to achieve. So there's 3 things really that we're going to focus on in this conversation today. So the first thing is understanding what it is that you want. The second is why you want it, what you believe it is going to bring to you, to your life, to your career, to your relationship in having it. And then the third is how do you get it? Because we obviously all in life want things, but how we actually get them is a separate conversation. So let's start with, what do you want? I know for me, for myself, over the years, I have wanted a lot of things, but these things I haven't really wanted, if that makes sense. What I mean by this is I had seen an advert and decided that I wanted it. And it started with, let's go right back. It started with the shoes that I wanted as a child at school. So I saw an advert for these Magic Key shoes that were made by a brand called Clark's. Maybe you have a shoe that you wanted that is specific to your country. So think about how much you wanted these shoes as a child and what story you told yourself as a result of seeing that advert. Maybe it was a pair of trainers that you wanted. You just fell into the belief that was created from the advertising, from other people that you saw who had it. And if I don't have it, then I am not. And when I do have it, then I will be. And it's so, so important that we understand and recognize where these stories came from so that we can release them in order to become who we came here to be. Because why do I want it? The second part of this question is, as I'm saying, just this belief that if I don't have it, then I'm not good enough. If I don't have it, people won't take me seriously. If I don't have it, then I am just going to fall behind, not be the person that I know I want to be, I'm here to be, whatever the story is. So another story in and around all of this, I've told you before, I worked in finance for over 10 years. I worked in the marketing departments of investment management, asset management, hedge funds, and even a high street bank for a while. In that sector, handbags really were a big thing back in the day. So the handbag you had denoted the success of your career, the level that you were at within your job, within the organization, within your career path, if you like. So there was a certain handbag that you had when you started. Then there was the next handbag, the next handbag, the next handbag. I observed for men that it was shoes. So there was a certain brand of shoe that they had, and then the next brand of shoe, the next brand of shoe, the next brand of shoe, and also suits. So for women, we could kind of wear whatever we wanted to wear within the remit of, as long as it was black, as long as it was smart, as long as it wasn't too loud, too bright, too obvious. This is a conversation, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. There were real standards and ways. It was almost Victorian in some ways in some of the sectors that I worked in, that even down to the nail varnish color that you wore, one color was too bright, one color was acceptable. I say this to people now and they laugh, but this was the way it was. And maybe you'll resonate with this because maybe you have also worked in the finance sector, and maybe it's sort of similar in the sector that you work within, and maybe we also worked together, so you will know what I'm talking about. But why we wanted the things were because of this belief that once we had it, then we would become. So once I got my Prada handbag, I then have hit the epitome of this is it. Well, it wasn't. So this is what we're talking about today, this addiction to the next, the next, the next. So I need this handbag. I need this relationship. I need this engagement ring. I need this marriage. I need this person. I need this home. I need this job. I need this promotion. And it's like, once I get this, I will be this. So my question to you really is, what is the story? What is the belief behind it? Because it doesn't just stop, and it isn't just associated with your career, with your relationship. Once you get into business, the things that I have noticed and observed in myself in running my own business, and here is a bit of vulnerability in sharing this. First of all, it starts off with how many followers you have. Then it moves on to how much money are you making each month. Then it moves on to how many awards have you won. Then it moves on to what kind of recognition do you have on different platforms? Are you a top voice on this platform? Are you a influencer on that platform? How many views does your social media have? And it's always the next, the next, the next, the next, the next. How many recommendations do you have? How many 5-star reviews do you have? And I have fallen into this trap over and over and over again. And the belief being that every time I get there, then I'm successful. And then I get there and I still don't feel successful because I don't have the next thing. I don't have the next thing. I don't have the next thing. Are you resonating with what I'm sharing? Because I'm here to tell you that there will be no next thing that will make you feel successful. Success isn't about a thing. Success is about a feeling, and the things follow the feelings. We have to work out what feeling successful means to us. Is it that I wake up in the morning and I can breathe? That I'm not waking up in the morning and I'm panicking? Maybe that is success to you. That I go to bed and I feel like I have done a full day. Not that I have worked hard, but that I have really shown up for the day today. I have used my talents. I have changed some lives. I have been the light that I want to see in the world. I have been the proof that I am looking for. I have been the change that I want to see. I showed up. I did my stuff, and now I can go to sleep feeling happy that I showed up. Maybe that's success. Because what I've noticed 10 years in a corporate career, 10 years in the business arena, 11 years since my wake-up call, the only thing that mattered on that day when I thought that's it, that's the end, was the regret that I hadn't truly lived, that I had been in this hamster wheel, chasing the next thing, the next recommendation, the next award, the next pat on the back from somebody else. Believe me, when you pat yourself on the back, you will finally feel the feeling you have been looking for from everybody else. Nobody will be able to tell you you did a good job and that you feel it in the same way as when you tell you did a good job. If you don't believe me, you can keep doing what you're doing. It was Einstein who said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a different result. And I've tried it. So I'm sharing from the other side as a recovering addiction seeker, as a recovering addiction to the next seeker. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And this is a very different distinction between goals and goal setting. So in January, we're starting the Success by Design 3-month program where you're going to focus on 2 goals that you want to achieve every month. Why 2? Because we overestimate what we can achieve in a month and we underestimate what we can achieve in 3 months. So we're starting in January, that traditional month where everybody has those New Year's resolutions and that list looks like a shopping list. And you get to the 10th of January and you just give up. This program works because of the simplicity of focusing on 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And over a year, that's 24 goals. So how would you like to achieve 24 things in 2024? Because, my friend, it is possible. But it is possible when you tune into why do you want it? What do you believe it's going to mean to bring to you? Who do you feel you are going to become on that journey? And the spoiler alert, the answer isn't you are going to become somebody else, somebody perfect, somebody admired, somebody successful, somebody with a bank account with trillions in it. You are going to become more of who you are already. Because who you are already is amazing. This program, everything I do, all of the training, everything I do to train and coach myself is around becoming more you. It's not new you. This is a new year, more you program. This isn't a new year, new you program because you are perfect already. My job, my entire second life job and mission now is to turn up the volume on people, is to be the mirror to remind you, you are good enough. And when you see what I see, you will start to feel successful because successful is a feeling. It isn't a thing. The things come with success and they're fantastic. And we're not saying that we don't want them because we do. But if we believe we need them in order to be successful, we are never going to have the feeling. It's about turning it round and was it the chicken? Was it the egg? What came first? Understanding the feeling leads to the thing. The things follow the feelings. So in the program, people take actions on their goals every single day because progress over perfect is the only way to create the life, the reality that you want. I do this podcast and I record it with guests and with myself speaking to you. And believe me, there is a voice in my head that says, do this again, record this again, say this again. You just tripped over your words. You didn't say that sentence well enough. You didn't ask the right question. You already asked that question. But I am showing you what progress over perfection looks like. And with every single episode, things become more perfect. With every single episode, you are seeing me be real. You are seeing me practice in public what I am practicing in private. And sometimes we do need to practice in private. And I've been running my business for 10 years. I've been speaking online for 6 years on camera and recording things and doing things. And now, obviously, in the last few months, doing it as an audio experience. So I have been practicing. I've talked to nobody. I've talked to lots of people. But all the time, it is about taking a step. Because who I am becoming through this, and I feel successful in right here, right now. I know that I will be doing audio experiences and hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, will be listening to it. I know I will be interviewing people that have the eyes of the world upon me. I just know this. This is how I get there. So you are seeing me practicing it. Please take this as the inspiration that if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. So what do you want? What do you want to achieve in 2024? If you're listening to this, then we are at the moment in December running a 21-day Dare to Dream challenge. Please join the challenge. It's free. This challenge is your opportunity to look back over the year and see what has got you to here right now, to decide what you want to take into the new year, what you want to leave behind. This free program is setting you up for the paid program that starts in January. If you want to do the program, we have a super early bird price that you can get in on it right now. If you're listening to this podcast in the future and you want to know about the program, we will be running this program in 2024. Once the program starts, the doors will shut, but the doors will reopen at points in time in 2024. So you will have the opportunity to get into the program and in 2025 and beyond. So whenever you're listening to this, go onto the Googles and find out what we're doing at what time and get involved. But what I want to leave you with today is there will be no next thing that solves your problems. Even those people that want to win the lottery, something like 85, 90% of people who win the lottery go on to become financially worse off than they were before. Because it's not about the thing, it's about who they are. If you don't believe you are worthy of the thing, you will sabotage it, you will destroy it, you will lose it, you will give it away. Because there's 3 different energies when it comes to anything. There's the energy of receiving. There's the energy of retaining. And then there's the energy of recirculating or giving it away. So in everything in life, there are 3 different energies. And why we are unable sometimes to do those different things, although intellectually we know, is because of our life experience that we have had. Everybody's has been different to now. Your circumstances are not the same as somebody else's. You may look similar, you may sound similar, but underneath, you are different. And the differences are what make you who you are. The differences are the things that you will go on to teach. The differences are the people you will influence in your life, in their life. And when I say teach, it might not be that you start your own business and become a teacher in that kind of way. It's that we are all the teachers to another. People are watching you, whether you like it or not, whether it's people who you're training, whether it's your colleagues, whether it's your friends, your family, whether you've got dependents, children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. Everybody's learning from what they see you do. So we are all the teacher to somebody else. And in most cases, we are not paid for that role. That is just, they are learning the lesson from your life. Let your life be your legacy. So when it comes to overcoming this addiction to next, understanding what success means to you, imagine somebody actually is following you around 24/7 and they are asking you, why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? Why are you thinking that? Why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing it like that? Because the reality is, spoiler alert, there is somebody following you around already 24/7. You. When they talk about in personal development, the 5 people that you spend the most time with are the 5 people that influence your life. One of those 5 is you. The other 4 are the things you are giving your attention to. So maybe it's a social media influencer, maybe it's the news, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's your partner. But maybe if you're on this journey and you're listening to the podcast and you spend time in my world, maybe you are starting to become aware that these 4 people need to be people that you admire and people whose life you want to model your life on. Because if it's possible for them, it's possible for you. So perhaps in all of this, one piece of homework for you is to identify what 4 people you need to know more about their lives. And as you know, on the podcast, I'm always bringing inspiration, possibility, and proof. So maybe one of the guests on the podcast is somebody you want to learn more about. Maybe there's a book that you are ready to read. Maybe there's a podcast episode that they have put out that you are ready to learn more about. Become inquisitive. It's your life. It's your time. The clock's ticking. There's never been a better time. Check out the 21-day challenge, catch up on the replay. If you haven't started on day 1, don't worry, there's 4 live trainings, but all of those trainings are recorded and you will be able to catch up on them and watch them as and when. They will be relevant whenever you are ready for them, because there is no perfect time to start. There's just the time you start. If the paid program is for you, I would so love to have you in that with the group of amazing humans from around the world who you will also be joining, and we'll all be elevating and inspiring and motivating each other together. As we wrap up this conversation today, I just want you to remember feelings, not the things. Those are your navigation system. How is it making you feel? Is it making you feel motivated and inspired? Is it depressing you? Is it making you feel optimistic? Is it making you feel pessimistic? Become aware, become the scientist of your own life. So I can't wait to hear how the homework goes. What do you want? Why do you want it? The how? These are the programs. These are the trainings. I will help you to work out the how. I'll help you to create the plan. I will help you to take the action. You don't need to worry about the how. You just need to worry about what you want and make sure that why you want it is because you know you are good enough. So until next time, my friend, stay safe, stay well, and remember, it's your time. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you loved what you heard, be sure to let me know by leaving a review so I can keep the good stuff coming. Come and say hi on Instagram at Success by Design Training, or visit my website, successbydesigntraining.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search Abigail Barnes. Until next time, don't forget, you are amazing and it's your time.